Hello, Black Riders and Ghouls, and welcome to a special Halloween Let's Look at of Shadow of Mordor. Don't let the ring corrupt your will too quickly.
Ah, that was most unpleasant. So yeah, I decided to do this as the Halloween special because it's kind of a ghost story. Set in the 60-year period between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, the events of Shadow of Mordor follow the rise of Sauron in Mordor once again, and a few brave people willing to try and stand against him. But like all things Sauron touches, they are ultimately corrupted to his will. And for all their faults, Warner Brother Games did take full advantage of the complete lack of most of Tolkien's world building during that time to create an interesting game set in a period that doesn't really get a lot of love. We open up the game with this grizzled ranger looking fellow. Yeah, really stretching those creative muscles there, Warner Brothers. I mean, seriously, he looks just like Aragorn practically. A dead body and a broken sword, however, lead our main protagonist here, Talion, to reflect on happier days, and for us to start the tutorial portion of the tutorial level. Thanks to starting the story in a medias res, we know that the person Talion's training with here is his son, Deerhile. I'm gonna do my best to get the names correct in this, but yeah, you kinda have to be a language professor at Cambridge to do it properly. Tolkien joke. But in a really amazing transition that takes full advantage of the flashbacks and flash-forwards we're indulging in, we can see that Gondor's influence over Mordor is faltering, since the Black Gate is under attack by a group of orcs.
Not orcs, they're lyrics.
Okay, I'm sorry, I guess they couldn't get the rights to real orcs. In another portion of the flashback, we see how the stealth mechanic in the game is implemented by engaging in some stealth flirting with Talion's wife. And I have to say, the chemistry between the two actors is really good and shows through even with the motion capture only being able to do so much to transfer the performance. And props for a really cute, low-stakes way to introduce the stealth mechanic, before having to engage in some serious stealthing to try and clear a path to make an escape from the Black Gate. Unfortunately for Talion, his wife has damsel in distress written all over her, and the writers have taken this opportunity to introduce two of the antagonists we'll be facing throughout the game, both of whom serve the Dark Lord Sauron. And despite wanting Talion alive, this guy is currently beating the snot out of Talion. And unfortunately, the reason that Talion and his family had to be taken alive is we have to set up our narrative stakes, as the Black Hand of Sauron slaughters all three of them for some dark ritual. And just on a little personal note, I had trouble getting the recording software to behave with me on this one, so I've had to watch these people getting murdered over and over again for the last 2 days. And wow, it's actually pretty powerful. The actors really did a great job conveying the pain and torture they're dealing with right now. Well, that was a quick game review. I guess we'll start on the next episode of the Blake 7 reviews, huh? But no, we know because of earlier stuff that this is all a flashback.
What has happened to me? You are banished from death. Cast adrift between the worlds of light and dark. Curse binds us together.
So Talion is essentially now a ring wraith without a ring. Also, weirdly, the wraith spirit that seems to be bound to him is an elf, which is kind of weird because it was pretty much established the Nazgul, or the Black Riders, were the 9 mortal men bound to lesser rings of power that now serve Sauron. But like a regular ring wraith, Talion can no longer die, so he goes on a bloody rampage of murder and vengeance, like you do. And it seems coming back from the dead has some definite fringe benefits. Sorry about this, I'm just going through some stuff right now after the death of my wife and son, thanks by the way, and you guys look like some wonderful target practice. So yeah, Talion has definitely come back changed, with absolutely insane wraith powers, like the ability to absorb information from the minds of orcs.
Not orcs, they're lyrics.
I'm sorry, do you want to follow up on the information that orc gave you? Then shut up! So we trek across the world looking for a slave camp where, in theory, we'll find a slave who faced the Black Hand and lived, which might be a good lead. So one of our other powers is Wraith Sight. Yeah, this doesn't feel like it was lifted from the Arkham games or anything. So after stealth killing several of the guards on watch, we end up facing the orc who's in charge of these slaves. He has an actual name, so that's how we know he's important.
Not orcs, the lyrics.
You know, I was gonna give you that killing blow, but you know what? No, I'm taking it back. You don't get to kill him. The one kind of cool feature of the game is whenever you do kill a named orc, you obtain a rune that you can then inscribe on one of your weapons, which give you minor stat bonuses. An easy way to help you improve your playstyle. As we free the slaves, we end up running into a deserter from the forces of Gondor that Talion knows. I think his name is Evish?
You and I are all that remains of that garrison, Hugo.
Yeah, way to mumble the line there. Well, it turns out he's the slave that Talion's been looking for, and is being somewhat obtuse about whether or not he does know where to find the Black Hand and his cohorts. But if we follow up with him later, he might have something useful. It's also here that we get our arbitrary cameo from the original Lord of the Rings game. I'm not quite sure how this squares with the timeline, but I mean, okay. But using our Wraith Sight, we're able to track Gollum and learn more about our imaginary elf friend. Finding an elvish trinket, we're treated to a flashback of a time long, long ago. And whoever our mysterious ghost friend was, yeah, it looks like he's also bound by vengeance and the death of a family, kind of like Talion. Unfortunately, our distraction has led us to become prey for a Caragor. I guess we couldn't get the rights to wargs either. Nasty predators who have no problem hunting us as well as orcs. With a little bit more hunting around, we do eventually find Gollum. Wow, really? They were able to get Andy Serkis to come back and reprise his role?
We must have it back. We must have it. Quiet.
Wait a second.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. Not listening. Not listening.
No, that doesn't quite sound right. Let's see who actually worked on this game. So a quick search in IMDb. Wait. Liam O'Brien? Travis Willingham? Matthew Mercer? Sam Motherfucking Regal? There you go, friends. There's your treat for Halloween. A fairly large chunk of the Critical Role cast worked on this project as well. And I'll give it to Liam O'Brien. If it wasn't for the fact I double-checked for this review, I would never have known that wasn't Andy Serkis. But in a long line of Rangers treating Gollum poorly, Talion slams Gollum around demanding answers. But weird twist, Gollum can also see Talion's friend and gives us this revelation.
Bright Master came to us in our dreams.
But yeah, whoever this is, Gollum recognizes them and offers to find more elvish relics to help him remember his past as well. Talion, perhaps we should follow up on my past so that we can understand more of my strange powers and where I came from. I'm going to murder every last one of you for what you did to my wife and son! Blood will be spilled! Talion, hello? Look, I'm working out some stuff right now. Maybe we can deal with it later! Fine, we'll work on your thing now, I guess.
Ranger, come close if you want the Black Hand.
And like that, you have Talion's attention. This is Ratbag. Ratbag says that if Talion helps him move up the ranks, he can get him closer to the Black Hand than he'll ever come just trying to track him down, killing orcs after orcs. Talion decides to have a look inside of his mind just to double check that that's actually true. And it's here we get our first look at the Nemesis system. You can see which orcs are enemies of which other orcs, as well as learning about their strengths and weaknesses. So Talion decides to work with Ratbag. However, making it very clear if Ratbag ever betrays him, he's going to die very, very slowly. Following up on Ratbag's information, we sneak into some old abandoned ruins that have been converted into an orc stronghold in order to find Ratbag's immediate superior, Goroth, since he's always found here in the stronghold.
Goroth will kill you if he catches you napping. Goroth never comes here. He's always by the hunting camp.
Ratbag, this was a trust exercise, and you failed it! You know what? I'm a man of my word, so I'm gonna go find your boss and I'm gonna go kill him properly. I really hope this is worth it! So Ratbag wins his duel to the death and moves up the ranks. Oi, did he just throw an ear at us? I think he thinks we're supposed to be impressed.
Be respectful, you dunghill worms!
I have a sinking suspicion the leadership of Ratbag is going to be a short-lived one. Probably should check up on him every now and then so my investment doesn't go to waste. So, mild digression, something that's kind of cool is you can actually unlock new Wraith powers that allow you to do a whole bunch of cool stuff. And taking a pointer from the best games, they actually show you what your new Wraith powers will do, as well as a text description, but being dyslexic, I appreciate the visual demonstration. So just to diversify my portfolio and not at all to extend the gameplay, let's go talk to our former ranger friend who knows something about the Black Hand.
Whatever leads us to the Black Hand is my only concern.
So anxious to find the Black Hand. And by all means, I will take you to him.
Well, that was easy. Alright, I guess we're skipping to the end of Act 2 pretty quickly here. So I would just like to point out that this is an escort mission done smart. You can just follow your escortee instead of them having to keep up with you, which is a pain in the neck. Also, they stay out of combat instead of running into the middle of danger. Brilliant! Wait. Why am I gathering up herbs for poison? So let me get this straight. If I go around and poison these barrels of alcohol that are left completely open, which is a health code violation, this'll somehow lure out the Black Hand? Oh, no, you just wanted to poison a bunch of orcs so that you could rescue your girlfriend. Seriously, dude, stop jerking me around. I'm on a revenge-filled journey here, not trying to help you deal with your love life. Talia, is now a bad time to suggest we get back to my thing? Nah, dude, it's cool. Let me sneak out of here and then I'll come give you a hand. I'm pretty depressed right now, so whatever. So we end up tracking down Gollum and he promises to take us to another one of the relics that he's found here in the middle of Mordor. I also want to say that the rain effect in this game is amazing. Like, it just hits that happy place I get into in the middle of a rainstorm. It's amazing. So we end up finding out from this flashback that our mysterious ghost friend was a master blacksmith? Maybe he forged a magic sword or something. And he is approached by an elf who is actually Sauron? So I brushed back up on my lore, and it turns out this is actually totally in keeping with canon. Just wait. And it's here we're presented with that weird weapon thing we saw previously.
Smeagol will look after you while you're unconscious. Smeagol will fetch a blanket.
You better tell me right now what you did to me while I was asleep, or I will end you!
All Smeagol did was draw mustache on face. Anyway, Smeagol is going now. Very dangerous. Go, Bright Master. Save yourself.
I wonder what that's about. By Glamdring, what is that? So these are ghouls, burrowing underground nasty things. I don't remember that being in any of the Lord of the Rings books, but then again, I don't remember Caragors or Uruks, so whatever. So yeah, I've been undead for a week and pretty much everything sucks. Maybe I should check up on Ratbag and make sure he hasn't managed to get himself killed yet.
I call this losing a duel, you glob!
We'd better hurry, or he'll lose his head.
Great. Wife's dead, I'm undead, and now my imaginary friend is being sarcastic. It's been a week. Also, to add insult to injury, Ratbag, what are you doing challenging people to duels? You know you're not good at these things! Ugh, I'm gonna have to save you, otherwise this is gonna become a junk bond before I know it.
These scum are no better than tarks like you, and I will show everyone here how low that is.
No, thank you. Thank you for this. You know what? It's been a rough week. I'm under a lot of stress, and you look like a great big stress ball. So why don't you come over here and let me give you a squeeze? I mean, I'm gonna kill you! Wah! Like I said, come over here and let me give you a squeeze! Wait a minute. You have a boss that you work for? It's your ugly twin brother? Wow. You aren't really identical twins or anything, so okay, whatever. Maybe it's like a nickname or something?
Ranger! Oh, well, now that's what I call teamwork, eh?
Ratbag, you're going to shut up now. You're going to run very, very far away from me, or I will kill you myself. Alright, time for me to get back on my quest of vengeance. Ratbag, you're just gonna get yourself killed if I don't look after you. Alright, try not to die in the 15 minutes it takes me to road trip through this unfazable stump or whatever. Okay, what is this now? Oh no. No, Ratbag, no! My investments, no! Okay, he's not actually dead. I guess I'll have to save you from yourself, you moron.
I know what you're thinking, Ranger. This was not my fault.
You know what? You're a mind reader. So why don't you tell me exactly how it's not your fault? And please, do try and make this story at least entertaining.
I go to tell the chief that I've killed his bodyguard. He turns around, got the exact same face as the dead maggot I just killed. Ouija gets killed. Twins. What are the odds of...
No. I'm going to stop you there. I can see where this is going already. I'm going to have to save your sorry hide. And you know what? After the week I've had, sure, why not? It's not like I have anything better to be doing, like avenging my wife and son, but okay. Alright, you know what? We'll just go around and murder some bodyguards, and then we'll go murder the war chief. That sounds like a great plan.
The pain of my twin shall echo within you.
Oh, you think you know what pain is? Seriously, you're nothing. You're a bad boo-boo, a nasty bruise. I've had worse splinters than you. Here, let me show you how little I care about pain. I'll light us all on fire just to burn you! Dude, hate begets anger. Anger begets hate. You should really look into that Star Wars stuff. Yeah, you know what my favorite part of the trilogy is? The dismemberment. Here, let me show you! Wow, what is this animal I have become? Maybe I should go do something else.
Ranger, we did it!
Who is we, you ill-begotten spawn of a Caragor?
Oh, don't you worry. War Chief Ratbag will make sure nobody gets in the way of your dirty schemes.
You know, that would be comforting if it wasn't for the fact that you are utterly incompetent. Come on out, Ghosty buddy. Let's go do this next. I'm glad to see you're willing to do something constructive for a change. Shut up and let's just get this over with.
A grog. I need at least 20 men to bring that beast down.
Okay, this is kind of awesome. We couldn't do trolls, but we could do the frickin' Rancor from Star Wars? Okay, sure, why not? So we sneak our way into the cave network, which is a long haul, and find out that it's full of ghouls. However, this time they seem to be more interested in running away from us rather than last time where we had to murder all of them. And we find our way to the Lost Relic. Alright, lay it on me, baby. What's the vision this time round? So, okay, he's working with Sauron on something. Wait, is he pouring rings? Wait, yeah, those are rings. I mean, what? Oh, wow.
Only you could accomplish such art, Celebrimbor.
So yeah, this kind of hit me out of left field. Celebrimbor was the elvish smith that originally crafted all of the lesser rings of power, as well as the 3 prime rings that Gandalf, Galadriel, and Elrond use. Which still doesn't explain how he's a ring wraith since Celebrimbor never had a ring of power. And actually, his death is quite tragic in the lore. And unfortunately, it seems that our lovely troll friend has come back to murder us. Seriously, we need to stop having visions in the caves of various large apex predators in Mordor. This seems like a really bad plan. However, to escape, we get to use a really cool trick called Shadow Strike, whereby you shoot an enemy and teleport to their location. So you essentially have to leapfrog your way through the cavern using this technique, which is actually really, really fun and provides a surprising amount of maneuverability. So as the grog continues to chase us, the cave begins to collapse, much like me under the weight of this review. And I think that's where we're going to end part 1, just because this is a long review and we've still got a lot of game to go. But don't worry, there's more to come in part 2. We'll address the plot hooks that we've already got hanging in front of us, and hey, we get some awesome fight scenes and some ridiculous explosions. Until then, I hope you found this entertaining and or informative, since my goal with these is to educate as much as it is to amuse. But until next time, I will simply say Namarie.